David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney+. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney+ every night.
Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air in the West involving President Trump and an arrest at his golf club in California. Just in tonight, what we're now learning about that man with a gun arrested at President Trump's golf club, where the suspect was found and what was allegedly found in his vehicle. Our team in California with what we know so far. Also breaking at this hour, an arrest in the catastrophic fires, hundreds of homes burning to the ground. And tonight, authorities say the man who started the fires in Washington is a convicted killer. How they found him, and tonight the new images right here, families escaping the flames by boat. Tonight, the stock market soaring to record highs on new hopes that the U.S. war in Iran, now in its sixth month, is there an agreement in sight? What Iran is saying tonight. This evening, the chilling scene. Look at this video appearing to show a Russian drone chasing a man selling vegetables around his van in Ukraine as he tries to escape being hit. Back here in the U.S., the terrified family emerging from the brush on the side of a highway where they were hiding after authorities say they escaped a road rage incident run off the road. The high-stakes primaries we're watching tonight and the closely watched Senate primary in Michigan. It will test the power of progressives versus moderate Democrats. Tonight, that intestinal illness racing across the country and the new reporting. What the CDC is now reportedly set to reveal, this is growing. And the other headline tonight involving Chipotle and what they've now removed in a separate outbreak. Tonight, 7 children in a car, none with a driver's license, and the deadly collision that followed. Tonight, parts of a SpaceX rocket set to slam into the moon in just hours. A well-known UFC fighter dying of an apparent heart attack at just 34 years old in his sleep. Tonight, Bruce Springsteen and what he's now saying about his wife Patti's cancer battle. And America Strong tonight, the wish come true. The 6-year-old signed by an NFL team. And what a play you're about to witness. This is something.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. As we come on the air in the West tonight, we do begin tonight here with breaking news. This evening, authorities revealing a man with a gun was arrested at President Trump's golf club in Palos Verdes, California. The suspect was arrested on Sunday, the president arriving in California tonight. Federal agents reporting a suspicious individual on the property observed walking through the grounds, they say, taking photos and videos, appearing to monitor security activities, according to authorities. Deputies located his vehicle, a loaded pistol. Then in subsequent searches at his home, they found body armor and radio signal devices. That man is now under arrest tonight, and ABC's Kayna Whitworth leading us off with late reporting.
Tonight, just as President Trump touched down in Los Angeles, federal authorities announcing the arrest of an armed man at the president's golf course. Officials say plainclothes federal agents reported a suspicious man on Trump National Golf Course in Rancho Palos Verdes Sunday afternoon. Authorities say the man was spotted walking throughout the golf course grounds, taking pictures and videos, and appearing to monitor security planning activities. Deputies responding to the golf course detaining 38-year-old Janine John Taylor, saying they found hollow point bullets in his pockets, locating and searching his vehicle, saying they found a loaded pistol. Authorities then conducted additional searches, finding an illegally modified AR-style rifle, body armor, radio signal devices, and multiple notebooks containing what officials described as concerning statements. David, this urgent investigation is still underway. The suspect was arrested on multiple charges but could face more. Authorities say there's no current ongoing threat to the public. David.
Kayna Whitworth on the breaking news tonight. Kayna, thank you. Also breaking at this hour, news of an arrest in those catastrophic fires in Spokane, Washington. Authorities tonight revealing their suspect is a convicted killer and how they caught him. Here's Alex Stone.
The images are horrific. Families running for their lives as flames closed in, homes engulfed. And tonight, authorities say one of the most destructive wildfires in the history of Washington state was deliberately set by a convicted killer. Spokane Sheriff's deputies taking 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci into custody outside of his home late Monday.
It was citizens who were paying attention to their surroundings, being aware and willing to step up and say something that led to the relatively quick apprehension of Mr. Farinacci.
Paul Child says he's the citizen who called police after seeing a suspicious man on the side of the road Saturday.
He was bent over, looking towards, doing something in the grass and towards the tree line area.
The origin of the fire was indeed exactly where the witnesses had seen Mr. Farnacci kneeling in the grass earlier that day.
Oh my God, dude.
The fire's destroying at least 700 homes and other buildings. New video shows a family using their boat to escape the flames, taking refuge in the middle of Lake Spokane. For residents like Chelsea Riley, whose parents' home is now a pile of ashes, news that the fires have been deliberately set hurts.
It changes things. It kind of, you could make sense of it when it was an act of God somehow, but now that it's arson, someone did this to our family, and that's hard to wrap our brains around.
Farnacci is a convict out of the state of Arizona. In 2010, Farnacci pleaded guilty to manslaughter for shooting and killing his father at their home in Mesa, Arizona. He was released from prison in 2020 and is currently a Spokane resident. David, Farnacci just appeared in front of a judge. Bail is set at $1 million. He's due back in court later in the week. David.
Alex Stone reporting from Spokane, Washington, again tonight for us. Alex, thank you. Also developing tonight, the family scandal erupting in full public view. Embattled Congressman Max Miller accused of domestic abuse by his ex-wife. He denies it. Her father, Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno, now speaking out tonight, calling the congressman, his former son-in-law, a madman. Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, a family scandal erupting into full view on Capitol Hill. Republican Senator Bernie Moreno of Ohio calling his former son-in-law, Ohio Congressman Max Miller, who was running for re-election, a madman, saying the congressman, who is married to the senator's daughter Emily, is putting the family through hell.
This is truly the 7th level of hell. This has been a horrific experience for my entire family.
The senator's daughter Emily claims Congressman Miller, her ex-husband, abused her. In a February police report obtained by ABC News, she claims he threw her against the wall, once held a gun to her head, and another time threw hot water on her. Miller says she's lying. As proof, he said his ex-wife offered to cook him dinner several days after one of the alleged incidents.
6 days later, she offered to cook empanadas for me for dinner. So ask yourself, if I had assaulted her, would she have offered to cook me dinner 6 days later?
Miller's former father-in-law, Senator Moreno, furious.
My daughter lives in constant fear of this man. Deeply in her heart, she fears what this guy is capable of.
Caught in the middle, the couple's 2-year-old daughter. Senator Moreno said he had to pick the child up from Miller over the weekend.
So I meet him at the Bay Village police station, because that's the place that we have to go to meet, because I don't know what this guy's capable of. She comes over, gets in our car, we drive away, and if anybody's a parent, she has a little blue bunny that she sleeps with. Max would not hand over the little blue bunny. Literally held it hostage for 48 hours. This girl is crying at night because she can't sleep without her little blue bunny. And his answer is, I'm just not gonna give it to you. So finally yesterday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, he lets the little blue bunny go. This is the level of total and complete depravity.
Miller is also accused of physically abusing his daughter.
I have never abused our daughter.
Miller says his daughter was hurt by employees at her daycare. The local Department of Children and Family Services did not find evidence to substantiate allegations of child abuse against him. Senator Moreno says Congressman Miller is not fit for office. But tonight, Miller's saying he's not going anywhere.
So for no second am I going to sit here and continue to be debased by false and baseless allegations and be pushed out of a seat I have worked so hard to represent and done a terrific job for our community.
House Republican leaders have remained silent on all of this. President Trump has publicly called Congressman Miller a good person, but sources tell me that the president did speak with Miller by phone yesterday and expressed concerns over whether he can win re-election. Miller only has until tomorrow to drop out of the race for Republicans to hold a special election to try to replace him. David.
Rachel Scott live up on the Hill tonight. Rachel, thank you. In the meantime, the high-stakes primaries we're watching tonight and the closely watched Senate primary in Michigan, testing the power of progressives versus moderate Democrats. Jay O'Brien in Michigan tonight.
Tonight in Michigan, voters in the year's most closely watched Senate primary faced with a stark choice that could shape the future of the Democratic Party this November and beyond. Dr. Abdul Al-Sayed, a progressive former state health official, calls himself a capitalist, but he's been embraced by the nation's top Democratic socialists. And he's firing up younger voters, focusing on affordability, the rising cost of living, and speaking out against Israel's war in Gaza.
Shouldn't be this hard to afford a second bag of groceries. Shouldn't be this hard to pay your rent. Shouldn't be this hard to pay your taxes. And know that that money is going to be spent on you rather than to drop bombs on somebody else and their kids.
His rival, Congresswoman Haley Stevens, pitching herself as a folksy and moderate can-do Democrat.
Holy smokes, Grand Rapids! I'm just fired up to be here.
Highlighting her work with former President Obama and her endorsement from Michigan's popular governor, Gretchen Whitmer, saying she's the candidate with the best chance of winning in November.
I am tough as nails when Michigan is being challenged right now. You know, Donald Trump is skirting all around, selling us out to the highest bidder, selling out Michigan. It's not right.
And David, there are 5 states going to the polls tonight, but that Democratic primary here in Michigan, all eyes are on it. It has deep implications for the Democratic Party and serious impact on the November midterms and beyond, David.
Jay O'Brien watching this into the night for us. Jay, thank you. Meantime, tonight, the stock market soaring to record highs, oil prices dropping on new hope. Is there an agreement coming in the war in Iran now in its 6th month? The Dow surging more than 900 points today, the Nasdaq up more than 670 points, and the S&P 500 hitting a record high. What Iran is saying tonight, and Matt Rivers now from the region.
Tonight, stocks surging to record highs on Wall Street and oil prices plunging, based on hope that 6 months into the war with Iran, some sort of agreement is close to reopen the critical Strait of Hormuz. Details of any possible deal remain unclear, but the Dow soaring 900 points, closing above 54,000 for the first time ever. The price of U.S. oil dropping below $80 after the Trump administration signaled a deal may be close.
There's been progress made in those talks, but not finality yet. We're hoping that will happen very shortly.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent today offering this timeline.
We may have a deal today or tomorrow to open the strait.
Iran today saying they are only negotiating with Oman about control over the Strait of Hormuz, claiming talks were positive. Iran has repeatedly said it will keep control over the strait, which was open free to international traffic before the war, and they have said they might charge fees. President Trump warned this is Iran's last chance to make a deal, insisting the strait will not be tolled.
We're not talking about charging at all. There won't be charging.
And David, tonight, sources tell ABC News that after months of war, U.S. stocks of air defense missiles have been significantly depleted, a major concern if this conflict were to escalate once again. David?
You'll be tracking this. We'll see if an agreement is indeed coming. Matt Rivers tonight, thank you. In the meantime, the chilling scene tonight from Ukraine. You're about to see video appearing to show a Russian drone chasing a man selling vegetables around his van as he tries to escape being hit. And a warning, the video is disturbing. Here's ABC's Soufi Burridge.
Tonight, the horrifying moments a Russian drone appears to hunt a defenseless Ukrainian vegetable vendor. The drone buzzing as the man frantically runs around his van, desperately trying to escape. That drone tracking his every move. In an instant, the man ducks for cover, the drone suddenly diving, exploding into a ball of flames. Incredibly, he survives. It hit the car and I was right beside it, the man later said, adding, it struck and I just fell down. The man suffering a concussion and multiple shrapnel wounds, his wife, who was with him at the time, getting away too. President Zelensky sharing the terrifying video, calling the attack against a civilian evidence that Russia has gone mad. The man selling vegetables saying he tried to wave off the drone, Russia giving no indication as to why it appears this vendor was targeted. It comes 24 hours after Russia says a Ukrainian drone plummeted into a crowded beach at a popular Russian tourist resort, killing 7 people, including 3 children. Ukraine says the Russians shot that drone down, claiming they didn't deliberately target the beach. And David, back to that Russian drone appearing to target a vegetable vendor in Ukraine. The attack showing how civilians continue to be caught in the middle of this vicious war. David?
Just horrific images. Soufi Burridge, Tom, thanks. Tonight, cases of that parasitic intestinal illness growing across the U.S. The Washington Post reporting the CDC has linked 6 more states now to contaminated iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms, bringing the total to 15 states now linked. The illness is, though, spreading far beyond just those states. More than 18,000 cases now reported in 45 states. Tonight, news of a separate outbreak as well. Chipotle now removing jalapenos from some restaurants as health officials investigate a salmonella outbreak. The Minnesota Department of Health investigating 110 salmonella cases tied to the outbreak, with jalapenos the suspected source. Tonight, Chipotle says the jalapenos in question were sent to several retailers across multiple states. We do have more on our website. We'll continue to track this. When we come back tonight, 7 children in a stolen car, none with a driver's license. The deadly collision that followed with another car, the other driver killed. Also tonight, we've learned a well-known UFC fighter dying of an apparent heart attack. He was just 34 in his sleep. Also, the shark caught by fishermen in the Northeast and what they say this signals. And this evening, Bruce Springsteen and what he's now saying about his wife Patti's cancer battle. We'll have much more news here in a moment. Tonight, a frightening road rage incident on a highway in South Florida. A family of 3 emerging from the woods where they were hiding after deputies say a driver forced them off the road, allegedly doing a pit maneuver on their car, sending their car crashing into a barbed wire fence. Deputies later arresting the suspect. He claims the other family's car hit him first. Tonight, 7 children, none with a license, involved in a violent and deadly crash in Germantown, Maryland. Police say the children ages 12 to 15 were in a stolen white Kia, colliding with a blue Toyota. The driver of the Toyota died at the scene. The children, all injured, 2 are in critical condition. Tonight, the discovery on Cape Cod, 2 brothers fishing, reeling in a baby tiger shark. Tiger sharks with their characteristic stripes do come this far north in the heat of summer, but scientists tonight say mostly adults, rarely juveniles. They say it's a sign of warming seas. When we come back on the broadcast tonight, Bruce Springsteen on his wife Patti, and the well-known UFC fighter passing away in his sleep. He was just 34 years old. We're back in a moment. To the index of other news tonight, Brazilian UFC fighter Allan Nascimento has died of an apparent heart attack at just 34 years old. UFC officials tonight say the flyweight fighter was found unresponsive. He died in his sleep. Medical teams were unable to revive him. He fought in Las Vegas just weeks ago. Bruce Springsteen sharing the news his wife's cancer is in remission. Springsteen updating his fans that his wife and bandmate Patti has been living with multiple myeloma for more than 8 years now, thanking her doctor, her medical team, and cutting-edge research, and we love hearing this. Tonight, a 5-ton piece of a SpaceX rocket is set to crash into the moon overnight. The Falcon 9 rocket launched in January of last year. SpaceX was unable to steer it toward Earth. So overnight, around 2:32 a.m., they tell us part of it will plunge into the moon, likely to leave a new crater. When we come back tonight, the 6-year-old just signed by an NFL team, and you have to see him play. Tonight, the 6-year-old signed by an NFL team, and you're about to see him play. America Strong. Tonight in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Carolina Panthers and the wish come true for 6-year-old Asher Harvey, signed by the team.
Thanks for coming. Are you excited for today? The guys are really excited for you. We've got a special play.
Asher, welcomed by the Panthers head coach.
Good to meet you.
Asher is battling a congenital heart defect, 3 open heart surgeries at Levine Children's Hospital. He'll eventually need a new heart. His mother, Ashley, on the moment the Make-A-Wish Foundation asked what he wished for.
He said, I just want to go to a Panthers game. The game? You just want to go to a football game? He said, yeah, that's it. I don't think he realized the scope of what he could actually wish for.
A wish come true. Asher would become a quarterback for a day with his favorite Panthers, the team documenting it all.
He's going to protect you, okay?
The moment he meets his favorite quarterback, Bryce Young.
Now this guy's the one that's going to bring the play in for you. You know who he is? My guy.
Yeah. The coach introducing Asher to the team.
Yes, we just signed him upstairs. He got a fat signing bonus. Everybody wants you to say what's up to Asher right here.
In the locker room, getting fitted with his helmet.
Please welcome Asher.
His father, Evan.
Going through surgeries and to get to this point in life where, he's amazing at all things. It's been incredible to see him kind of come into his own.
In the huddle.
4th down for the win, okay?
Getting the ball. He was ready. his favorite team lifting him up.
Asher has taught me that it doesn't matter what happens to you. What matters is how you move through life. Whatever he does it with all of who he is.
Asher, you were incredible. What a wish, what a team for making it come true. Go Panthers, go Asher, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, just incredible. I'm David Muir. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night. From all of us here, good night.
David Muir, the most trusted, most watched newscast in America. And now, World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the 4th year in a row.